Creator of all that is, has blessed us with timelessness. Despite our trained, one might say programmed perception of time and its requisite demands, it is important to stop and reflect on the artificiality of the concept of time and its imposition on our equanimity. The demands for punctuality are more for convenience and control in today's hustle-bustle workday world, be it a boss, a school schedule, an appointment. While time and timelines can be compelling, even motivating, it is a stressor on our system and an invention for control and allows for further programming. Knowing this, let us find time to touch in with creator energy each day and even throughout the day to stay in balance with what is really needed to be accomplished. Consider letting go of the clock awareness so that our days can flow in a timeless, relaxed manner, whatever the outer pressure. When pressure, take a deep, prolonged breath and drop the shoulders to relax into balance. And at day's end, let us give thanks for the day and all that it held for our growth and our joy. And so it is.
Hello, my name's Ron Vroman. I'm with the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I'd like to give some information to you folks that are paying attention to what we're doing. In 1775, the die was cast. The colonies, 12 Protestant and 1 Catholic colony, all got together in Philly, and they formed a Navy and a Marine Corps. They were at war. They were not declaring independence. The next thing that happened was 1776, our unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America with a small u. That was not a Declaration of Independence. That was a Bill of Particulars. You should read it sometime. And then in 1777, they formed a confederation, not a federation, but a confederation and perpetual union. That is very specific. And they styled it the, with the capital T, United States of America, each word capitalized except for of. That's our name. That's the name of the 13 United States of America in Congress assembled. And that grew until Oregon, which was the 33rd state among the several states of the United States of America, 1859. So the Confederation had articles, and the articles were ratified. And the final article of the Articles of Confederation was the United States of America's Constitution. The one they sent out and got ratified and came back, and the one that Washington took his oath to, that one. That was the first one. They immediately corrected it with 10 Bill of Rights. And then came 11, 12, and 13, Anti-Title of Nobility, 1819. There is a tremendous amount of preponderance of information. Evidence abounds that Anti-Title of Nobility 1819 was ratified, and that was changed by the Lincoln administration under color of law that we've been under since March 1861. or maybe December 1860, when South Carolina broke the perpetual union for the second time. So we have a provenance. We know who we are. We have a history. And I know history, people say, oh, how boring history. It's just nothing but dates. It's not. It's people. And the only time in the history of the whole wide world in our universe that it ever happened where the people in writing wrote the documents and declared themselves to be sovereign. Nothing over them but God, the supreme being, the creator. No government, no king, no sultan, nobody. Men and women on the land and soil. That's where we are. There are a lot of people that are in admiralty. They're in maritime law. They believe in the Oregon State Bar, and they believe that the oligarchy out of Salem running their de facto governance has the right to govern. They do not. We are no longer deceived. You have to comprehend. And that's a hard one for some people. I know. I was a hard nut to crack myself. I was 75 before I figured out that they're lying to me left and right, all over the place. Nothing's as it's supposed to be. It's shut up, go over there and sit down, do what you're told. Everything's going to be just fine. Eat this. Well, no, thank you. So, what we have is a contest, it's a confrontation, and it's right now, every day, in every way, between people, men and women, who understand and are no longer deceived, that will not cooperate with the de facto. You have no authority. Provided be we do not harm anybody or damage property. If we don't do either one of those things, you have no jurisdiction over us. Leave us alone. We're going to correct the situation. We're going to have sheriffs that actually comprehend what law and statutes and oaths and bonds actually mean. And we will have Jure government on Oregon. And it starts with the sheriffs one by one. And it's not difficult. Really isn't. So I was looking at some information and trying to figure out how to bring about a little bit of enthusiasm or a desire, or to see it from a different point of view. I think there are illegal aliens that need to leave our country. That's a fact. I think if your political and religious beliefs require you to change our form of government, whatever it is, to your form of government, you need to leave. You do not belong here. This country was founded by 12 Protestant and 1 Catholic colony. We are not members of Islam, and we're not going to provide that opportunity any longer. We are not going to put up with color of law any longer. The people that supported the murder of Robert Lavoie Finicum cannot allowed to be in positions of trust. They must be gone. And if you were the governor or in the legislature that voted to do that, you must be gone. You have no honor. Those things are not allowed to happen. And when they do, there are repercussions, and the repercussions is not sweep it under the rug. So, how do we communicate that to you? I can only communicate that to you from the position of an old man, an old white man, an old white man on the land and soil of Oregon that is no longer deceived. Now, here's a little information. I talked about the United States was conceived in 1770, whatever, 6, 7, 81, 87, whatever date you want to pick, it was conceived and it was done. That's a fact. It happened. Now, that happened in 1770s. The Roman family in America arrived here in 1664. My family is a party to the group that took New York away from the Indians. My family was at war with the Indians. They killed each other. There's statutes and monuments in New York attesting to that. That's where I come from. And I'm the 9th generation. And after me, there's 3 more generations. I'm the last male in my generation, the oldest one. And I have daughters, granddaughters, and great-granddaughters. And all of them are members of the Daughters of the American Revolution, should they choose to be. We went through some trouble, some effort. We have a book published 1947. It was updated with the CD-ROM. How about that? And this is the documentation. There you go. The Daughters of the American Revolution. Yes. So we have some skin in the game. No more than anybody else. It just goes back further. If I'm the oldest one in my family, and I'm the son of 3,337, I think it was. Yes. My dad's number in the book was 3,337. and that was in 1947. And pardon me, his father was 3,327, and he was I because their children are alphabetized, and I'm an A. So I got the same amount of skin as anybody else, but it stretches further back. It's memory, it's history, it's geography, it's mathematics. It's all those things that people don't want to think about, just like they don't want to take the time to read the Constitution. They'll take an oath to it and promise and swear and affirm and don't know what it says and have to contact a lawyer to find out what they think. And they haven't got a decent, lawful, legitimate oath and bondability among 36 of them on Oregon. So, what we have is a confrontation. And I happen to be fortunate enough to be in this position. Serendipity. I love it. I was married to Aida for 44 years. She died last August. Placed me in this position. I was nothing to do, or I had nothing to do with any of the business of running the business or of maintaining the plant, the house, the property. Aida did all of that from 2013 on. And then she died, and now here I am. Well, they say they have the authority to bill me for a monthly fee to pay a mortgage and that they have the right to foreclose. And I say to them contractually, which I'm guaranteed in the Constitution, I have the right to contract. They say that Aida and I signed a document obligating ourselves to a mortgage. And we did it through a VA loan. So now the feds are involved. The feds came into existence March 1861 when there was a coup by Lincoln. But I digress. The feds are involved because of the VA, their loan. Then the state's involved because the state has, in their authority, through their attorney general's office, who has no authority and has been unable to prove it through two attorney generals. They have decided with the mortgage company that they don't need to do all that's written down that says that they are required to do and how they are required to do it. They don't have to do that. They can do something else and hold a kangaroo session and do what they please, and they can't. They'll do it, but we're not deceived. So how are you going to do that to me? How are you going to provide me, the old man on the land, with the document, look me in the eye and say, we're going to digitally take your property? I'm analog, man. I'm not digital. I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. and we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, "Just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me." And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.